Hi, welcome to the Butterfly Plate Take and Make program. Before we talk about how to make our butterfly dish, I would like to tell you a little bit more about butterflies. There are over 18,000 species of butterflies on this planet. Every continent has their own, all but for Antarctica. They are a cold-blooded species, so they depend on the climate to regulate their body temperature. Butterflies can be classified within 6 families: skippers, the swallowtails, the whites, the brush-footed, the hair-streaks, coppers, and blues, and lastly, the metalmarks. Butterflies, like bees, help pollinate plants. Butterfly population is a good indicator of how healthy an area's ecosystem is. While people usually notice the wings of a butterfly, we'll take a look at the whole butterfly. The butterfly's antenna is one feature that can help differentiate it from moths. Moths' antennae are feathered and shaped like a saw, while butterfly antennae tend to be slender with a bulb-shaped top. The butterfly uses its antenna for balance and for smell. Here we have the eyes, thorax, and abdomen. Butterflies can see colors extremely well, which helps in finding certain flowers. The thorax is the middle section of the body, between the head and the abdomen, bearing the legs and wings. The abdomen is comprised of 10 segments. Butterflies have 6 legs that are covered in bristly hair. Like humans, they use them for walking, but they also use them for taste. Special sensors pick up chemicals from the surfaces they walk on, which helps the butterfly to taste liquids or identify host plants for their caterpillars. This is one reason to avoid picking up butterflies when possible. The creams and chemicals we put on our hands can be hard on the butterfly's feet. Butterflies have 2 forewings and 2 hind wings. They flap their forewings in an odd figure-8 pattern, causing the butterfly to fly in its unpredictable zigzag style. The largest butterfly is the Queen Alexandra, who has a wingspan of about 10 inches. Sadly, this butterfly is on the endangered list due to loss of habitat and from being collected by humans. The smallest butterfly is the western pygmy blue, who has a wingspan of only half an inch. You can find this little guy in western United States and Mexico. Wings are made up of small scales. These scales are flattened hairs that give color to the wings. Butterfly scales are so small that without a microscope, they look like colored dust, which are delicate enough that they will brush right off the wing if they are rubbed. Scales are unique to butterflies and moths, and they come in 3 varieties: pigmented, diffractive, and androconia. The butterfly lifespan can be between a week to 1 year, depending on the species. But all butterflies have 4 life stages. The first stage begins when the butterfly eggs are laid, and they usually hatch within 3 to 5 days. What's interesting about this stage is that the larva will eat the leaf they were born onto. This is important because the mother butterfly will need to lay her eggs on the type of leaf the caterpillar will eat. Each caterpillar type likes only certain types of leaves. Since they cannot travel to a new plant, the caterpillar needs to hatch on the kind of leaf it wants to eat. The second stage is the larva or caterpillar stage. After eating its eggshell and molting several times, the caterpillar is fully grown within 9 to 14 days. During this time, they mostly just eat with its main goal to grow. The third stage is perhaps the most well-known life phase of a butterfly. The pupa stage is when the caterpillar attaches itself to a plant upside down, sheds its skin, and becomes encased in a chrysalis. During the time in the chrysalis, the caterpillar will undergo a metamorphosis and change into a butterfly. This usually takes between 10 to 14 days. Some butterflies that live longer will have different times as a chrysalis. Finally, A butterfly emerges from its metamorphosis and is ready to start its life as a fully grown butterfly. This stage in its life is called imago. During this stage, the butterfly spends most of its time looking for a mate and starting the life cycle all over again. Now that you know a little something about butterflies, you probably want to know how to feed them. If you're able to have a garden, there are several books at the library and on the Libby app to help you plant flowers that will help you attract butterflies. If you have a patio or want to add a feeder to your garden, please enjoy these directions on how to create your own butterfly garden feeder. Here are the items included in your take and make bag: a plate holder, twine, and beads. To assemble the butterfly feeder, you place the plate in a metal holder and then add twine to the corners of the plate holder, right underneath the plate. Next, decorate the twine with beads or other decorations. I knotted the twine first, then placed the beads on the twine and repeated these steps. You can always use your own beads and have more or even have no beads on the twine. Tie the strands together and knot. I made 2 knots, one near the beads and another knot higher up, allowing me to hang the plate on a tree branch or a shepherd's hook. You can make your own butterfly food by mixing 10 parts water with 1 part sugar. Heat the mixture until the sugar dissolves and allow it to cool. Pour over an unscented sponge in the center of a plate. Check often to make sure the sponge isn't dry. Fresh fruits work very well as butterfly food, but please remember to check on the fruit and dispose of rotten fruit as needed. If you're worried about ants, you can add some water to the dish as a deterrent. Here is a good hint. Butterflies are attracted to red, yellow, orange, pink, and purple colors, so keep that in mind when selecting fruit. Enjoy and happy gardening!